Hi again everybody, hope you're all keeping well. Now if you've watched my last video you may know that during the winter months I'm just going to be uploading a video as and when I feel like it. When I feel like making a video I'm just going to get one recorded. And today I feel like filming a video, so I'm going to do a video. It's going to be a quick one, it's going to be a bit of a ramble, just because I feel like doing it. Why not? And you guys have also told me that you don't want me to edit my videos as much because you like seeing how things really are and how I really am. So this one's going to be unedited and it's just going to be filmed on my phone. There's a few things going on around the allotment. Of course there's the DIY projects, but there's also some problems as well. And it's all to do with rats. So we'll check that out. We really need to sort the rats out. They are becoming quite a big problem. Now I've decided to order more wood for the raised beds. Like I've not already built enough raised beds. Yep, I know. I've already built 8 of them. I've got wood to build a 9th one, and I've actually ordered wood to build another 2. So, you know, that's 11 raised beds in total. But the reason I'm doing that is because I moved the strawberry cage. So the location where the strawberry cage was is going to have 2 new raised beds on it. I'll show you that in a moment. I've done a little bit so far, but I'm actually waiting for the wood to arrive at the moment. It was supposed to arrive on Wednesday, but somehow I missed the delivery. I don't know how I did that. They said that they rang me, but I didn't get any phone call. Anyway, we missed the delivery on Wednesday, and it's now Friday, and I'm waiting for it again. So, yes, I've ordered some wood because it was on offer. It was the Wickes autumn sale, and actually the lengths of wood are twice as thick as the beds which I've already made. So I thought, why not? It's only like 50p extra per length, and the lengths of wood are longer and thicker. So, you know, it's a no-brainer really. So we're doing that. Usually with these deliveries, you get a time slot that's quite broad. And when you actually place the order, you get a time slot of between 7 AM and 7 PM. You know, that's a big window. And then the night before the delivery, you get a more narrow time slot, and mine is between 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock, which is better, but it does mean you're possibly waiting around for a bit. It's all right if you're at home, but I'm having mine delivered to the allotment site, so it's a little bit of a pain. But if I'm down doing jobs, it's not too bad, but it is very cold. Now, I was stung by a wasp the other day, which is very strange. You wouldn't think that I'd be stung by a wasp this late on in the year. It's almost December. Yes, I was stung by a wasp. Not at the allotment though. This actually happened at home. We were getting our Christmas decorations out at the weekend because we put our Christmas tree up. Have you put your Christmas tree up yet? Because some people like to do it early, and some people like to do it in December. Some people like to do it literally just before Christmas. We like to do it about a month before Christmas, you know, because I think you put some effort into putting your decorations up. So I think it's good to have them up for a decent amount of time. So yes, late November is not too early to put your Christmas decorations up. That's up to you guys to debate that in the comments below. Go ahead if you disagree with me. Anyway, I got stung by a wasp at the weekend. We were getting our Christmas decorations out of the attic. I reached for the cardboard box which had the decorations in, and there was a hibernating wasp on the side of it. And of course, I put my hand on it and it stung me right on the fingertip. Probably one of the worst places you can get stung by a wasp, really, on your fingertips. Actually, no, there's probably worse places you can get stung by a wasp. We won't go into that on this video. Yeah, there's definitely worse places than your fingertips, but it was quite sore. And it's funny because we've had some close encounters with wasps over the last couple of years. We had a wasp nest in this shed. Whoa! Ah! Which I had to destroy. We had a few close encounters in the greenhouse and in other areas as well. The pumpkins, the beans. It was a wasp! Whoa! Wasp! Never got stung once. But then I go in my attic to get the Christmas decorations out and it gets me straight away. Yeah, it's just funny, isn't it? Now, about the rats, they're becoming quite a big problem this year on the plot. I've noticed them a lot more. They are taking up residence in the polytunnel. That's where they seem to be. That's like the hot spot. There's a lot of activity in the polytunnel. Obviously, they've burrowed holes in the side of the plastic around the back, and yeah, they seem to be in there a lot. I can't see where they're hiding in there. I don't think they are living in there, but they are going in there and doing stuff. Well, eating the produce, actually. They've started digging in here and eating some of the tops of the parsnips. I'll see if I can find an example. But yeah, there was a big piece of parsnip in the polytunnel that was all shredded up, and quite a few of the tops of these parsnips have been nibbled at as well, which isn't great. We want them with our Christmas dinner. The carrots in the greenhouse over there are protected, I think. They're in the greenhouse, of course, and they're raised off the ground in buckets, and they've not touched those. They're doing okay. But we have a shed at home as well, and I've stored my potatoes in there, and they've gone in the shed, they've burrowed a hole in the side of the shed and got in there, and most of the potatoes have all got nibbled, which is not ideal. You know, I mean, a lot of them were smaller anyway, and I was going to use a lot of them as seed potato for next year. So we had our sweet corn attacked by the rats this year. They've been digging holes in the polytunnel. They're attacking our parsnip. They've been digging the potatoes up this year as well, actually. When I was growing the potatoes, they were digging in the buckets and taking the potatoes out. But they don't seem to be very keen to eat the whole potato. They just nibble on the potato. And then figure out they don't really like them. I don't think they're very keen on potatoes, which is annoying, because if they don't like potatoes, then don't bother nibbling the potatoes, you know, save them for me, because we like potatoes, you know. So here we go, here's just one example of a parsnip that's been attacked by the rats. There's a few of them in here. I think a lot of them are untouched though, thankfully. So we should hopefully still have some for Christmas dinner. We're going to cover that over to prevent it. Might actually rot, to be honest, because it's been damaged. But yeah, not very good at all, to be honest. That quite a big problem. Now I'm still in the process of removing all the wood chip paths around the allotment to help fill the raised beds up, and a lot of them have been cleared from the polytunnel. I've still got some more to do here, but a lot of it's been cleared. We've had some quite hard frosts over the last week or two, particularly a couple of nights ago when it got down to about -4. Probably colder than that on the allotment, actually. I have found that the allotment, because it's quite you know, remote, it's quite rural, it does get colder than, say, you know, in a town centre or city centre. So it probably got colder than that. The brassicas in the polytunnel, of course, they're very hardy vegetables. They are okay. They will survive the winter, especially because they're in a polytunnel, but they are looking a little bit floppy, a little bit droopy, I think. They are going to slow down. They won't really be growing much over the winter, I don't think. These cauliflowers, interestingly, they do have some little cauliflower things growing in the middle. There is some cauliflower growing. This variety is called all year round. Probably not going to be huge heads of cauliflower. I'm placing my bets on the kale, the cabbages and the purple sprouting broccoli performing the best, I think. The cauliflower never really does well for me anyway. But the purple sprouting broccoli looks brilliant. Looks really, really good. So hopefully, early in the growing season, early next year, we'll get some lovely purple sprouting broccoli growing in here. That should be lovely. We've got some spring onions here. Of course, they're not doing much. You know, they're not doing much at all. But hopefully, you know, late winter, early spring, we can harvest some of these. And yeah, we just threw some more brassicas in at the back over there. Okay, so I feel like I've had a good tidy up over the last week. Got things cleared out the way. I've also emptied the Dalek compost bins as well, and the compost from those was quite decent, to be fair. It was quite well composted. I've done this one here, there's still a bit more there to do. It was partly composted, and it's going to help fill the raised beds up. We'll see what's going on with those here. So here we go. They're quite well filled now, to be honest. I'd say they're about 3/4 full. Of course, they'll shrink down quite a bit, so we will have to factor that in as well, and we'll have to fill them up extra high, I think. It's going to be topsoil on top of these now. That's the last layer. We'll have to get some topsoil probably later on in the winter, I think. There's no rush. Same with these two here. I trimmed the Weigelia bush the other day. Trimmed it back, and that is what has helped fill these up as well. Wood chip, some very well rotted horse manure. I'm very careful with horse manure now. I'm just using it as a bulk material to help fill the raised beds up. I am not applying it on top of the soil and digging it in, especially fresh. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm much more careful with it. And this is a different batch of horse manure as well. Many people have used it this year. As I said, it's well rotted, so it's already been used by people and it's fine. So, you know, yeah, I am being very careful with it. Here is where the 2 new raised beds is going to be, and I'm waiting for the wood, as I said before. And they're going to be 3.6 metres long, 1 metre wide, just like the rest of them. And yeah, the wood's going to be thicker on these ones, I think. Now, my plot gets quite a bit of shade, particularly on that half over there behind the polytunnel on the back. And that is why I'm building all these raised beds on this side, because the trees over there do provide quite a bit of shade. The sun, in the summer anyway, comes up here and then sort of goes behind the trees in the afternoon, around 2-3 o'clock over there. In the winter, it never rises above the trees. As you can see, it's sat behind the trees there. Never rises above the trees. My allotment is in perpetual shade through the whole winter, and that's that. But in the summer, it's not too bad. There's a few more beds here, and yeah, those are also filling up quite nicely as well. They're all lined. The membrane is underlapping, so the wood is not sat on the mud. I mean, look at that. Just look at that. That is the bed that I was previously growing in. This had onions in this year, and no wonder they didn't grow. Look at that. That is just ridiculously heavy clay. Of course, I'm going to wood chip these paths as well. I'm going to wood chip everywhere around the plot, especially because I'm flipping it. Look at that. That's no good, is it? And that is exactly why I'm building raised beds. It's just a no-brainer. Here as well, this is where the strawberries were. You know, the strawberry cage which we moved last week, or a week before, a couple of weeks ago, we moved the strawberry cage. And yeah, it's the same here as well, to be honest. It's really heavy stuff, heavy clay soil. And yeah, I'm not surprised the strawberries didn't grow in it. The soil was so heavy clay that the strawberry roots couldn't grow down into the soil, so the plant was actually getting pushed out of the soil, and we had no crop from here whatsoever this year. But hopefully with these raised beds here, we should manage to achieve much more in the way of crops. I think definitely going to be more productive for sure. So I still need to sort out the wood chip from this path here. I need to remove all that to help fill the raised beds up, but most of the wood chip paths are now removed. I need to do a skip run. So this is all the rubbish I've gathered in the corner. That's going to go to the skip when I have time. And here is one of those silly, why the heck did I do that moments. Right here. I'm sure we all have them moments from time to time, and the things that we do that we think are a good idea at the time, but then later down the line we figure out that it wasn't a good idea. The strawberry cage was one of them ideas, which we now changed. We've moved the strawberry cage to the new plot. But there's also another thing here which we very sillily did. Sillily? Is that even a word? Sillily? Did you say sillily? Stupidly? Foolishly? I think foolishly is a better word. We put the polytunnel there a couple of years ago, which I thought was a really good place to put it. It fit perfectly on top of the bed that was already there. And I thought, yep, great. Things seem to grow okay in there. It's a decent placement in terms of sunlight. It gets just enough. You know, this side here is the shadier part, and this gets part shade, really, half and half. Bit of sun, bit of shade. That side there gets quite a bit of sun. It gets a little bit of shade later in the afternoon. But anyway, this bed here gets permanent shade pretty much because the polytunnel is there right in front of it. So it blocks all the sun out. That was quite a big mistake. I grew onions in this bed this year, and yeah, of course they didn't grow. There was other issues as well, the heavy clay soil and the flipping wood shavings and the manure. And then I think the shade also contributed to the poor harvest of the onions. Anyway, I've decided to just grow rhubarb in here next year. This is going to be a permanent rhubarb bed. I think rhubarb should be able to handle the shadier conditions quite well. I mean, I do have some rhubarb right over there, which is quite shaded, and that provides a decent harvest every year. So here, I've already stuck about 8 crowns in there, maybe 10 crowns. This area here, you can see they're actually already starting to grow. That's just down to I think that's just because of our mild UK winters. We do get quite mild winters in the UK. Anyway, the rest of the bed at some point will also be rhubarb. And this will be one great big rhubarb bed, which hopefully, I think they will do all right in here, to be honest. I think they'll do okay. We love rhubarb. I eat it quite a lot. I actually freeze the stuff down. I stew it, cook it in plenty of sugar, freeze it down, and then I eat it with my yogurts. Or there's other things you can do with it as well. You can make drinks with it. I don't do that. You can cook it in a crumble or any other dessert if you want as well. There's plenty of things you can do with it. I like rhubarb very much. Now, here's another silly thing which I did quite a while ago actually. This was quite a few years ago now. I had these raspberry bushes which were on the plot before I even took it on actually. They were actually over there. All this area here was just a big mound of weeds and rubbish 5 years ago when I took the plot on. I dug the raspberries up and I've moved them around the plot a couple of times actually, to be honest. And do you know what? They're not actually that productive, really. There's early fruiting raspberries that fruit in spring and summer, and then there's the autumn fruiting ones as well. There's 2 different types here and they're all mixed up. And I moved them again into this bed with the rhubarb. And the problem is they're now competing for space. And there's rhubarb in here as well, and I don't think it's a good idea having 2 together. The rhubarb's there, some really nice strong plants, nice strong crowns there. So what I'm doing, I'm actually removing the raspberries. I've thinned them out at the front to make space for the rhubarb here to grow, so it's not competing for nutrients, light, moisture, space. And these raspberries at the back, I'll probably dig a few out, I'll probably stick them in a couple of containers, and then just have this as another rhubarb bed, because I don't think you can ever have too much rhubarb, especially because it freezes really well and stores really well in the freezer. So that is the plan with that. I shouldn't have put rhubarb and raspberries together in here, and because these raspberries don't produce that much, And to be honest, we don't really eat raspberries that much either. My other half doesn't like raspberries. My son doesn't like raspberries. He prefers strawberries. He loves his strawberries, which of course we're growing more of. We're growing loads of strawberries in the cage next year. It just makes sense to grow more things that are productive and more things that we enjoy eating the most. And that is what we're trying to pivot. We're trying to change our ways and pivot to try and grow things that we like and things that are more productive. So we've actually got some lovely spinach growing away here. We did have some problems with caterpillars attacking them, but they've seemed to have backed off now. It is much colder. They're growing quite well. I think we'll harvest these soon, I think. I was put off a little bit because the caterpillars left a lot of poop on them, which is still there. So yeah, we did harvest quite a lot of these actually. We had quite a few pickings, but then I was put off by the poop from the caterpillars. You know, it's not very appetizing when there's poo on it. Anyway, we might go back and harvest them. Can't get my words out. Now we did have some frost protection fleece. To be honest, it was a few years old. I did have it for quite a while, and we got plenty of use out of it. But the rats also got some use out of it, and actually started nibbling away at it. And there's actually pieces of this horticultural fleece everywhere. It's just been shredded everywhere, in the polytunnel as well. There's pieces of it everywhere. So we need to get some more horticultural frost protection fleece. If it wasn't for that, I probably would be covering these over. The carrots have slowed down. They're not going to be growing anymore because it's so cold. But we've got some pretty decent carrots, I think. Yeah, I think it should be alright. I don't think we're going to have huge carrots. You're talking Chantenay size carrots, I think, at best. Maybe. We might be surprised. We might get a few bigger ones. But we've got 4 buckets of them. So even if they are small carrots, I'm pretty happy with that. Should be enough for Christmas. Hopefully the parsnips get left alone by the rats. Yeah, we'll see about that. Hopefully they leave some parsnips for us. Now my mother got hold of some of this stuff, Rat X. So yeah, if you're a rat and you see that, you're not going to be happy, are you? Anyway, this stuff apparently is poison free. I think it's got something inside of it that affects the rat's digestive system, so it can't digest food. Now, but a few people, a few weeks ago, commented saying that this stuff is bait for rat traps. So in reality, I was actually feeding the rats. I had a little bait station in the polytunnel, and they were eating it, and we still have rats. So either there's too many rats, or it's not worked. There's probably going to be too many rats. Anyway, this stuff has, what does it have in it? Active ingredients: corn gluten meal, sodium chloride, and then there's some inner ingredients: maltodextrin, sorbitol, wheat flour, wheat germ oil, and that's it apparently. So yeah, it's very much organic, poison-free stuff. It doesn't actually say how it works, it just tells you how to apply it. So yeah, it's naturally derived, poison-free as it says here, for indoor and outdoor use. So yeah, from what it sounds like on the box, that is exactly what you do. We have these trays. Yeah, we have these trays that are sealed. You open it up and you stick the tray down. I'm gonna stick one of these in the polytunnel again, I think. And yeah, they eat it and then apparently they die. I've not seen any dead rats, and the rats are still causing damage. They've ripped up the horticultural fleece, they've dug up the parsnips, and they've been eating the parsnips. So, you know, it doesn't really seem to be doing much yet, but we're going to apply another one. I had to discard the old one because it gone mouldy. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I felt like a bit of an idiot, to be honest, when I was told that we were basically feeding the rats. Honestly, I felt like a right fool. But I don't think that is the case. I think this is for killing them in some other method. From what I've heard, it stops their ability to digest food, which obviously isn't a good thing. It's going to kill you, isn't it? So, okay, so here is one of the raised beds in the polytunnel, and I've put one of these bait stations down now. This is an area that's got a lot of activity of rats. There's evidence of it there. Look, bits of horticultural fleece which they've taken and they've distributed it around the polytunnel and other areas, which is a real pain. Yeah, so we put it there. Hopefully they eat it. Bon appetit. Enjoy. Okay, so I know that quite a few of you guys enjoy watching me ramble and do these long talking unedited videos, so I thought I'd do a little bit of one of those today for you, because I feel like making a video today, mostly just a ramble, to be honest, mostly about the rats, to be honest, and what's going on with the DIY projects. I'm still waiting for this delivery. I've not received any updates yet. So yeah, it's very painful when you have to wait for a delivery, isn't it? Especially being down at the allotment. It's quite cold, but all I can do is keep busy, isn't it? So I thought I'd make one of these videos for you all whilst waiting for the delivery. I may as well. But yeah, here's how things are looking. They're slowly but surely coming together. Slowly but surely. And I think by spring we will be there. We've got 2 of them over at the back there. We've got 3 of them here done, which we're filling up, and then 3 at the back there. We need to build 2 more here in the middle, these 2. And we've also got another one to build, which is going to go over there, around this area here, I think. No, it's not. It's going to go there. No, it's not. Where are we? There. It's going to go somewhere around here. So yeah, we've got quite a few of those, and it should hopefully give us some good harvest next year, fingers crossed. So I hope you enjoyed today's little ramble video. Do let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the rat situation. Honestly, you guys have taught me so much over the last couple of years just from your comments. So yeah, if you've got any tips, drop them in the comments below. I really appreciate it. And that is all for now, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Happy gardening and stay safe.